All right, welcome back to the Planet Paintball podcast, brought to you by 1023 Sportswear and Southwest Paintball in Bayfield, Colorado. Couple quick announcements. Toys for Tots, December 10th at Greenville PBC. Bring a toy for your entry, $20 value or more. Bring two friends and have a good time. All right, this is coming out after Thanksgiving, so I hope everyone had a good one. And I'm excited. I got Edward with me from Team Smoke, coming off a 10-man championship
Yep. So
and win.
yeah, we took the series and we also won World Cup, so can't really be mad at that, you know. Went in there and
No.
went for the gusto. So yep.
And then both teams made it out of the prelims at Cup too, right?
D2 unfortunately didn't.
They didn't? Okay.
Nah, I wish they would have. They tried. They weren't far from it. So, but hopefully next year. There's always a next year. The D4
Yep.
line, they won champions division, so they were top 4 going. So they automatically made it to Sunday. Unfortunately, cards didn't really play out in their hands, but they still finished third for the season. So very surprising.
Not too shabby.
We went from last place or second to last place in Tampa, which was not a good showing. Fresh team, very, very big learning curves to really killing it in like Atlantic City and everything. And then, like I said, we finished third in the series, so can't complain.
Yeah.
But
let's stay in the present, I guess. What's going on with Smoke going forward, if you will?
So there's a few of us that got to meet up coming. Well, if this is getting released after Thanksgiving, we're meeting up the weekend after Thanksgiving to kind of go from there and see what next season has. I know for sure we're probably going to have a D2 line, a D3 line, and playing nationals. Possibly a D4 and a D5 line playing local. Not sure which series yet local. Not sure if it'll be in Florida or if it'll be maybe AXL. I don't know really how we feel about after this season. Yeah, kind of some things up in there. You know, everybody's kind of got life going on. So we just kind of have to see who's all around for next year and go from there. So, but there will be smoke around no matter what. That's for sure. Guaranteed. So, I know the D2 lines for the last 2 tournaments have picked up Michael Moore. Anyone in the Carolinas, actually anyone that knows anything about paintball knows Michael Moore. So
yeah,
he's been one of the homies for years. As you know, we're kind of going to get into it on the podcast. The Smoke crowd, we're kind of a unique situation, and to be a coach of our crowd, there's some respect to be built there. You know, Michael Moore's kind of built it over the years, and so kind of a good pickup. Really helps those guys out. Hopefully going in next year will be better.
Yeah, that's a hell of a pickup for a coach.
Yes, sir.
So he's definitely been around as a player and photographer.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's a chief, I believe, or was a chief at one point.
Yeah,
plays with Breakout a little bit.
I don't know how it goes. I mean, once a chief, always a chief. Maybe I don't know how their whole thing is for that. So, but you know, we all a lot of them played on Dark Carnival together. So I mean, goes deep.
Yeah.
But,
have you guys had any discussions about playing the new Florida League, Mike Kinman's league?
Yeah, that's something we'll be discussing in the upcoming week. That's kind of I think if anyone does it, probably like the Division 4 team. Just because with the way everything's scheduled, man, it's just hard to play everything. We would all love to do it.
Yeah.
Being here in Charleston, I mean, it's a travel. It's a travel for us. I mean, coming up there to practice for every event, you know, the Greensboro and everything. I mean, it's a travel. Luckily, the new field owners, OX, they have really kind of stepped up. Rumor has it we might be in a turf field here in Charleston finally. We're finally getting some support from the local field. So we'll just kind of have to see everything plays out. But,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it, man. We're going to jump in the Wayback Machine here.
Yeah, take it way back, mid-2000s, I guess.
Yeah. So where did you find paintball, man?
Kind of backstory on me. It wasn't the generic birthday party, surprisingly. It was just a couple kids around the neighborhood. Older kids playing paintball. Me being me, just was like, oh, this looks fun. So saved up money for a summer, went and bought a little Eagle Talon.
Nice.
Played in the woods around the house, and then got tired of the like small hopper bullshit situation. So it was like, okay, I'm gonna work my behind off all summer. Went and bought a V-load or was it Talon or no Triton, the little blue gun they
Triad.
sold. Yeah, Triad. That's what it was.
Yeah,
I was the best kid on the block then, and got me a little 20-ounce CO2. And my parents took me to Paintball Charleston one time to fill up the CO2, and it was like, well, this is something. Had some older cousins that played. We were at a family reunion. They were all making fun of me. Kind of went back and forth a little bit, and then they're like, "Okay, well, if you think you're about it, I was only 8. They're like, "Well, if you think you're about it, come on out. We'll show you how it is." Kind of funny joke is a couple of these kids actually grew up with Ryan Jones and some of the. We'll get to that later on in the podcast. And yeah, I went out. My parents took me out there one time, and I came home, and it was all the rage. And then my dad started talking to a few friends at work, and they played, so they invited my dad out. And then my mom got into it. Anyone that's met my mom knows she is a very unique person. Easiest way to say it. Not your average female. So they hopped in, and I mean, we played ball every year for like 4 or 5 years, every weekend.
nice.
You know what I mean? Spent a lot of time at the old paintball Charleston. So
It's awesome the whole family got into it,
yeah,
though.
yeah. My little sister running around there, while we're all playing. It was very fun. We also had a group of friends we kind of created, and then that leads us into the bigger situation where we're gonna bring up, the whole GLK thing. Those guys were out there just smashing everybody. You know how that like. I guess we can go ahead and jump into lineage of that because this is where
Yeah.
it kind of starts rolling in.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. As you know, I mean, you spent some time in the Charleston ball. It's a very unique culture.
Yeah.
It's kind of molded itself to a very, very unique culture. When I say that, I mean as in just the way Paintball Charleston did it. Everything from knees down, elbows down, and your gun shots didn't count. So with that being said, you could play paintball and actually learn while you're playing. It's not you get shot once and you're out. So yeah, I guess it was back probably in the early or mid 2000s. You had a group of little shitheads. No
Mm.
other way to put it. Just didn't give a shit. Like either you're about it or you weren't. The GOK thing. I mean, it came from two groups of friends that was just out there smashing people. Kind of came together to keep ongoing joke to keep a dude by the name of Josh out of the group. It was just a joke.
Okay.
Josh Walton. The name. Funny thing is, you got a bunch of little 13-year-old boys running around. That's when dial up first started.
Yeah.
Needless to say, the name came from a porno site. It is what it is. I mean, a lot of people don't know that, but yeah, gangbang crew. Yeah, it kind of was a joke, and that's kind of, I guess, where it all evolved from. And then the Charleston scene. That's just like any other sport. When these are the guys smashing you every week, and that's who you want to be.
Yeah.
So
Well, particularly like in that era, right? Like couldn't go online and find videos. You just found photos. You had to wait forever for a VHS and then later a DVD to come out to see any pros. So like the local team that was the highest division were really like the gods of the paintball field,
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and everyone wanted to be on it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And back then, you had GOK's kind of broke down to like, I guess easiest way to say it's like 4 generations. I would be considered kind of second generation. You had the OGs, which is like, you've heard a few other people like Josh and stuff talk about him. You had Ryan Jones, Lucas Prestera. I mean, anyone in the Carolinas knows Lucas. I mean, man,
Oh yeah.
man's a legend. I mean, no other way to put it. I love the guy to death. John, Chris Leopard, whole group of those guys. That's when the Timmys first started coming out and stuff like that. And some of those guys were lucky enough to have parents and stuff that had a little bit of money, so they're out there just killing it.
Ripping it.
Yeah, yep. And then a lot of the culture was based on you spoke about it before, like our pump scene.
Yeah.
Dude, the pump scene down here has always just been a different level. It's crazy. Unfortunately, it's not as big as it used to be, but we're still holding it down here. I mean, I can still call up a group of 5 or 6 guys right now and take them to anywhere in the United States. I'm here to tell you right now, we will hold our own when it comes to pump. It's just one of the type of things where we go out, volunteer a ref on Saturday for that case of paint. I mean, for that bag of paint, and then Sunday, that's all you had to shoot.
Yeah. So pumps where it's at.
Yeah.
In that scenario, right? It was always so interesting to me because like the West Coast had like this huge pump scene, right?
Yep.
Like
The
a ton of
Hitman,
pump
the LA
tournaments and
Hitman, and all
stuff.
those
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Hitman mod that everyone did to their pumps and then eventually like could buy from them. But like outside of the West Coast, you didn't see it a lot. But in Charleston, it was strong.
Yeah, real strong, real strong. We were actually for years on end. It's kind of crazy. The pro shop there sold the most Phantoms and sold the most TCM pumps for. Oh man, I mean it was many years.
Yeah. Well, when my brother moved down to
Hmm.
Charleston after college, like one of the first things he did when he got that job was, I got to go and buy a pump.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that's the scene down
That's
there,
what it
right?
is. Yeah. Yeah. And there's nothing like playing on 400 foot by 400 foot village with 150 people on each side. Because as you know, back in those days, I mean, our rec ball days were 300-400 people on a normal Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah. So you
it
could
was
have lots of fun with a pump.
yeah, it was crazy. You know what I mean? It was very unique. So
Yeah.
very lucky to come up through that situation. And then when you play pump all the time, then when it's time to go to a tournament like these TFOAs or something, you're shooting electric, then you're like, oh, what? I got 10 balls coming out versus the one? Okay, this is
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. You feel like a
Yeah.
god
Oh,
then,
yeah.
right? Like
Yep. Yep.
all the stuff that was really hard with the pump is now
Oh,
super
yeah.
easy.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yep. Yep.
that's something I would like if you're in an area where maybe you can't travel to a better team or something, or the level of player around you's not that good and you're kind of up in it already, like regress back down to a pump
Oh, yeah. 100%. Go
because
grab
it'll
a
make
pump.
you better.
You want to talk about snap
Yeah.
shooting? Get a pump. Have to double check. Have to cock the gun and then shoot while you're snapping. It'll take
Hmm.
the next skill
Yeah.
level. So,
Yeah. Definitely. And it'll
oh yeah, on point.
make
On
that
point.
shot wicked.
Yep. Yep. And then if you want the next challenge, throw that 50-round hopper on there. Pick up a stock class. I enjoy every once in a while pick up my
Yeah.
stock class and go out there and really have some fun with it. But
Yeah, that's other level to it for sure.
yeah,
We had what was it? Spider made something called a hammer. And it was yeah, you remember
oh
it
yeah,
had it
yep,
had a little clip,
yep, 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 yep,
and I used to run around the field with that thing to save
yeah,
money.
yeah. Those are interesting. Those were yeah, that was fun times with paintball. Then you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
so back when it's a little more challenging nowadays. Now that you can go in there and buy the new space mechs and stuff. It's kind of hard to push people to
Yeah.
play pump when you can go buy E-mech for $180, and compete, you know.
Yeah. And it's so good.
Yeah. Oh, it really
This
is.
is just
It
ridiculously good.
really is.
I picked up an EMAC during the season or, yeah, EMAC during the season, and, that's my goal is to build it over break here.
Really.
So,
Well,
just, have something a little
oh
fun with.
yeah. Oh yeah. When it comes to the mech markers, I'm well versed in it. As you know, you've already had him on the page, Jake Barini,
Mhm.
Bearder Works. That's my
Yep.
best friend. Best friend since 11, 12 years old. So
Wow.
when I say I've got every mech gun that you can think of plus more, I've shot them all, and the new ones out there, they're just ridiculous on what they're capable of.
Yeah, they're nuts.
Yeah,
I got my DSR shooting like it's a RT
yeah,
trigger right now.
exactly.
I think it might be cycling too fast actually. So, what's your favorite old school gun that you have right now or have had?
I guess when it comes to mech, it would honestly be just your classic ULE mag. Man. You just
Okay.
can't beat them. I mean, they're
Nice.
solid, and
Mad
if you do
guy.
them right, like I mean, I'm not a mag guy. I like cockers. Honestly, I like a cocker more because there's more to mess with. But if I'm gonna pick up a gun and shoot a laser beam, I mean, it's gonna be a mag. So, but man, when it comes to electric, old school gun, I've got a select few Timmys. I'd say I definitely
Okay.
enjoyed. I loved Bob Long for a while. I jumped on the Mark series when those first came out. That was a platform before its time. I love that. Then eventually got on a Eclipse sponsored team, so I kind of had to phase over to them, and then since then, that's just been history. Because Planet.
Yeah.
Once you go Planet, you won't go back. I don't care what anyone says. They're just reliable.
Yeah. I've held out,
Yeah,
growing up
yeah.
during the trauma era.
Oh no,
It was hard
I've
not to
still got.
have,
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
I've still got I've still got my original PM5 I bought. I mean, I've still got my fair share of
Mhm.
matrices and stuff, but it's just
Yeah.
you can't beat them. So,
Yeah. What was your, favorite cut of the Intimidators, man?
man, me being me, anyone that knows me knows I don't shoot anything stock. I got a custom cut Timmy that I've built up. Started out as
Nice.
a 2K Timmy, but if I had to go with one, it'd probably be the GZ body. I really like
Okay.
it, just the clean lines on the GZ body.
Nice, simple,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
straight to the point. Nothing like a 2K5 GZ Timmy. I'll rock one of those
Mhm.
any day of the week.
Well, not to derail too much, but I feel like that is the cut that made Bob Long's Intimidator,
But yeah,
like, a household
but
name,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, before then, it had the 2 volumizers and stuff up front, but when he slimmed it down like
yeah.
that, it just
And then you had the alias
it looked
pop.
like a Porsche.
Yeah, and then you had the alias pop up, and that was just that was your baseline to me, you know. And I mean, that
Yeah.
was clean. I mean, he definitely Bob Long was definitely an innovator when it came to the whole paintball world for sure. And anyone that didn't grow up in that
Yeah.
time really doesn't understand like when his guns came out, what they were doing versus the other things on the market. Yeah, they were there.
Yeah.
They were there.
Yeah. I mean, it was chainsaws versus hand
Oh
saws.
yeah, 100%.
Let's back up to GLK a
Yeah,
little bit, I
yeah,
guess. And just like such a long history from like scenarios to running the CFOA scene. What was kind of your favorite error
man.
with them, if you will?
Oh man, every era's got its own pluses. I'll put it that way. Everything's been good. Hands up. Weird thing to say. I mean, a lot of us just still ball. I mean, that's where smoke came from. I mean, we'll kind of get into that in a
Hmm.
minute. But man, giveaway days were fun. Back when you were young enough, didn't care. You're just playing against a bunch against the old men. Bunch of old men just out there getting pissed off at you, and all you want to do is overshoot them off the field. I mean, that's really how it was. Yeah, I mean, it's been fun, and of course, every scenario. I like all paintball. I mean, anyone that knows me knows if I got a gun in my hand, I'm down.
Hmm.
We definitely go to scenarios and have a good time. Yeah, CFOAs are definitely a fun time. That was back before life really hit everybody. Kind of the second iteration of GOK, I would say, is kind of the smoke thing. I mean, Corey kind of hit on it a little bit. Corey Snigowski, whenever you
Yeah.
spoke with him, that's my other best friend. Him and Jake, talk to each one of them every day. Yeah, we kind of want to get away from GOK in the name a little bit because of the history.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's still strives. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Still love it. Yeah, I mean, they all started in the SD. What was it? SCPFOAs. Because I think it was
Yeah.
before SCF or before the CFA. It started then, just like I said, a bunch of shitheads decided they were going to join this team, and just concentrate more on shooting people off the field than actually playing paintball. And you either liked us or you didn't. That's kind of how it's always been.
I will give you guys credit. Like, you guys were really, and I mean this in a compliment.
Oh, I mean,
Like, you didn't give a
no,
fuck,
and I
right?
mean, to this
Like
day,
like a lot of people say they don't give a fuck, but
nah,
GLK really just did not give a
nah.
fuck
And I mean,
if you like them or
yeah,
not.
I mean, we still kind of hold to that to this day. It's kind of funny. We all the older heads kind of laugh about it because it's just kind of a mentality that comes out of Charleston. But yeah, no, that's kind of what it was. It was either a love or hate thing, and unfortunately, most hated. But you know what? Bring it. But like I said, man, we all would spend every Saturday. I mean, from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, volunteer refing and stuff. Go out to eat. A lot of us didn't have licenses and stuff at that age, so whoever did, we all pack in a car, go to Zaxby's.
Yeah.
Man, then Sunday you were right back there playing with these guys. So it just kind of created this culture where like you created your own friend groups back then. You know what I mean? Like you
Mhm.
got down with who you're down with, and it was like if you're on the field and you were like a good player, like it just kind of formed in. And when you spend every hour every day outside of school with somebody, y'all click up pretty hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
Well,
whole
and, like, back
GLK thing.
then, like, that was your social network, right?
Oh yeah, I
Like,
mean, let's be
you
honest.
couldn't spend all time online.
Yeah, you didn't have it. Like 100% didn't have it. And not only then, I mean, let's be honest, paintball's kind of that extreme sport where if you stuck at all the other extreme sports, can't skateboard, can't do that type of thing, you kind
Yeah.
of go play paintball. So I mean, that's the nice thing of how diverse paintball is. I mean, it's not everybody's kind of the outcast, which then makes everybody like come together. You know what I mean? You can overlook
Yeah.
certain things and whatnot. As you know, I mean, anyone that's listening to this podcast, they understand like something about paintball. When you get on that field, it separates you from everything else.
Yeah.
Really really helps when you're younger and stuff to be able to come to the paintball field and know, like, okay, well, my friends are here and nothing else matters.
Yeah. Yeah. And, not to, well, fuck it, to be too nostalgia, but what you said was like if you sucked at all the other ones, right? Like paintball's kind of where you found yourself.
Yeah, it was just weird how it all worked.
Yeah, but it really took from like the punk rock scene, the skater scene, the surf scene, and like meshed all that together, and you kind of had like the paintball style
Yeah.
back then, if you will.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Paintball Charleston, like the old Paintball Charleston, anyone that played there is weird because like it's in the middle of North Charleston. Um,
Hmm.
kind of, I call it hood. I mean, I've no other. I mean, it's the kind of the location of it.
Fair.
But when you rolled in through the gates, it was all wood, so it was really like felt like you were getting away from everything around. Like
Hmm.
parents could drop kids off and be like, okay, well, you really have. There's nothing you can do. You know what I mean? Which that could have
Yeah.
been kind of a bad thing with some of the people hanging around, but you know what I mean. It all worked its own way out.
Yeah. Oh. Um. Well, before we get to smoke, let's hit on the backyard.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and give you kind of a rundown how everything kind of worked out. So, I mean, I played ball a lot when I was younger and everything, as we all do. We all kind of get in high school. My parents moved to Myrtle Beach my ninth grade year. Yeah, ninth grade year. I went up there. I had nobody, knew nobody. Only thing I knew was how to play paintball, and I went to the local field. Kind of got locked in there with a few guys. I was a freshman; they were all seniors. Started playing. That's all I knew. That's how I met friends and everything. Started playing with a few guys up there. Like I said, they're a little bit older. We actually jumped on a supposed to be semi-pro line. Guy was trying to make out of Pageland, South Carolina, called ST Carnage. Good time. Don't get
Okay.
me wrong. I mean, it was not a far from semi-pro, but I mean, everybody's got a dream. Let's try to do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Come to find out, the guy Aaron that was running it, he was a whole scammer situation. So we would go up there on weekends, stay up there, practice both days. And then I got a hold of Ryan Jones and kind of my boys from Charleston, and I invited them up for a practice. Was like, since I was the young one on the squad, I kind of caught a lot of strife from this Aaron guy and stuff. Well, these guys show up, and this field's in his backyard. Like it's literally like we got the cops showing up because we're shooting lanes and they're hitting cars as they're passing. Kind of funny. And so Ryan and a bunch of GLK shows up, and he's like, "Well, you go play with them." I'm like, "Are you sure?" So we shit on him the whole weekend. Um, they ended up going to Huntington Beach. Ryan Jones, Alex Mason, then played with them. They got shit on the whole time. And then we came back, and if I recall, we all got a bunch of Planet Eclipse gear, right? We all bought this package, got all this Planet Eclipse gear. Well, we all ordered these guns. Well, the guns start coming in. None of them are the colors we want. So we're like, what's going on? Well, come to find out, he had a brother working at a pro shop that was pulling him out the back door type shit. So we get back from So we get
Shit.
back from hunting. Yeah. So we get back from Hunting Beach, and the police show up. Anyways, he goes to jail. This whole deal. I mean, we definitely got a good deal on these packages. I mean, these are like this was '07. We're getting '06 Egos, like the full get player package. I mean, custom jerseys, the pants, the guns, hoppers, everything. Like it's like $1,400 out the door. We're like, sure,
Hmm.
whatever. Like, cool. You got all these sponsors for us. Like, just doing our thing. So I played that. Patriot Paintball, the place I worked at up there for a while, they shut down. Kind of didn't have nowhere to play. So my senior year of high school, I kind of backed away from paintball just because I couldn't travel down to Charleston every weekend and play with homies. The night I graduated, I showed up to graduation with my little Ford Ranger pack. As soon as I walked off the stage, I got in the car and I moved back to Charleston with my grandparents. Started playing ball again. At that time, everybody, like I said, we were all getting out of high school, chasing girls, doing that whole thing. Didn't really play much. And then we get 2, 3 years later, I end up having a kid, Jackson. My best little thing could ever happen to me. But yeah, I started playing ball again a little bit when he was little. Like anyone that knows was around during this time, like he was in his playpen crawling around outside the speedball field. I decided, okay, well, I need something to do. Let me hop back in. So I showed up to Paintball Charleston. I saw at that time it was a Cypher scheme. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember that. Okay, yeah. So Rex and Joel and all those guys were there playing. Kind of fought a little bit, got on the speedball field, did my thing, went back and forth, and then I was like, okay, this really isn't like I like these guys, I know some of these guys, but this really isn't my thing. So I called up a couple friends, like, hey, like let's see what's up, like let's try to play again. So started playing again. We played one CFA with them. Well, could have won. We could have won. but they were in the running for the series, and if they didn't get first place, then they wouldn't have won the series. So comes down to the finals with us and them, and basically was like, okay, we're not going to play you guys because you worked forever for the series and the CFOA. We'll just kind of go out there and you win type deal. We came back balling a little bit with them on the weekends for a couple, maybe 2 months. That wasn't my thing. Like, they're not my crowd. Like, they weren't GLK. Like, that wasn't it. So there was a group of guys by the name of the Jokers, kind of a rec ball crowd, kind of came together. A few of them wanted to start a speedball team. I was like, okay, didn't really know them or nothing. And one of my buddies come to me, Brandon Houston, was like, hey, these guys are wanting to learn how to ball. 2018, I was at BKI Combine for MVP. Kind of take 2 steps back. Friday, I was ranked number 3 or 4 coming into the day. My last drill was the like I said, I was there. Sterling Baker, a couple other people went with me. Went to go do lateral slide drill. By that time, we were the last ones on that drill for the day. The field was all rutted up. Went to go hip slide, lateral slide. Leg stuck, messed up the MCL pretty bad. Like really messed it up. So I was pretty much out for the rest of the weekend because that was the combine where the USA teams all started, the female started. You had E2 from Twister, you had all those guys out there.
Yeah,
it was kind of a big deal. You had Greg Pauly out there and all that stuff. So I actually ended up playing D4 MVPS. I played like 3 points under Mike Paxson.
Okay.
But after 2 points, man, my leg was shot. I couldn't do it no more. So, I was out for the whole MCL situation. And Brandon comes to me, he's like, hey, man, like, they got this group of kids that, like, want to learn how to play speedball. Like, they've never been on a speedball field before. I was like, okay, well, I can't play, but I love the games. Had a little bit of coaching and stuff. Cool, let's run it. CPSL it was CPSL underneath Andy at that time. 6 weeks away. Tell these guys, meet me at the field one Sunday morning. Cypress Kings is out there. Went back and forth with them with a little bit of playtime. Was like, you know what, I'm not doing this shit no more. I was like, but you know what, we're gonna go to this first CPSL and we're gonna win gold, and I will make it happen. So within that 6 weeks, I got a hold of, I don't know if you remember it, but there was a church outside of Somerville that they used to run CFOAs at.
Yeah.
It was a 2-field church, or had 2 fields at this big church.
It had the lights, right?
They might have had lights at one time, but the Holy City Reapers had kind of done something out there. But the field had been torn down. I mean, half the poles have been cut down and everything. And I knew a guy that knew a guy that knew a guy that went to this church that knew that whole situation. Someone's brother's girlfriend's mom type situation. I'm not a really big church going guy. Like, whatever, everybody's got their own thing. Was able to get in, and I met up with these guys. I was like, hey, the Holy City Reapers are wanting out. They had a whole field. They had bought a cup the previous year. And like I said, this was during the off season. So just to put things in perspective of how new the field was.
Yeah.
No nets up, no nothing. They had all the nets there. They had taken down everything. I was like, hey, if I bring this field back, can I use it? And the guys that were there were like, they had the full compressor, everything. Nice compressor set up and all. They were like, well, we have to sell so much paint to be able to get the discount on skids. So help me to help you if we can make it work out. So I get out there and I start looking at this. I'm like, man, this is going to be a mess. I mean, grass was knee high, but the grass, they had a football field next to it that they paid all this money for. Just like a private school. So the grass was immaculate. It was amazing. Never tore up. It was just the best grass ever. First thing I did was cut all that down. And then I got rumors that Holy City wanted to get out, wanted to sell their field. Well, I hit lucky on one of the waffles back in the day. You remember when all the Facebook raffles and stuff was going on?
Yeah.
I bought a $5 micro of a micro and ended up winning CS2, TAF. Man, it was $10 that turned into a fifth. I'll put it that way. I won it, sold all that, and then took that cash and went and bought the field from Holy City. At that point, I had location, I had nets, I had a field. I just had to do it. So with 5 weeks till CPL's coming up, I fell and broke my wrist. funny thing is, now I'm just coming
Shit.
off this MCL situation, fall, break my wrist, so now I'm in an arm cast. I'm like, fuck, I didn't promise these guys, like, we got to make it happen. Now, at this time, you know Matt the Gym Rat? Who doesn't know Matt the Gym Rat?
Yeah.
So they were playing underneath 843. I don't know if you remember those when they're, Matt, Tyler. And so all the Joker guys that I
Yeah.
didn't take, they created, and they created 843.
Okay.
So we always practiced with each other. Like, we were really tight. I mean, easiest way to say it. So I'm out there with a cast on top of a 20-foot extension ladder, hanging nets with 5 weeks left. That weekend, pulled the nets, told everybody to come out. We for the next 5 weeks, dude, weed for real. I put these boys in the dirt. Like, I mean, it was bad. Like, I'd already done the PKI combine. I'd been to a couple clinics. Just implemented that stuff, and it worked. I mean, those guys are, that stuff worked. So yeah, implemented all that, and then first CPSL, we went out there and won gold. So
Nice.
going into this thing, there was like 3 guys that were going to the military, so we knew it was only going to be a 1-year thing. So we went in there, and just that whole year was nothing but just I think we had the gold finish, a silver finish, might have got a bronze. Yeah, good time, good time. And at that time, I also was planting the seed in all the guys' heads that I used to play with. Like, I invited a bunch of the current players actually that play for Smokes, like Butch, Mikey, all those guys. Like, I'm like, hey, yo, like, I got this perfect field. Like, just show up and smash these kids a couple times. Like, I need some competition. You know what I mean, out here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I ended up with all the bunkers. So things went kind of south. The church didn't like the fact that none of us were church going people. So that being
Okay.
said, they got a new pastor, I believe. Some things happened. We were supposed to go to church and stuff, and like, I mean, it just wasn't that. That wasn't part of the original agreement. So they shut down the whole paintball situation. They ended up selling the compressor and all that. I went and picked my field up, picked the nets up, and took them to my house. At that time, I've got like 3 acres out on Edisto Island, right outside of Charleston. Beautiful place.
Okay.
I mean, if anyone ever got the chance to come to Charleston, you want to go to not go to Folly Beach, go to a real beach. Go to Botany Bay and Edisto. That place is beautiful. But yeah, I just had already been kind of working out there. Every year around Christmas, I throw this thing called a Christmas bash, Christmas clash, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
At that time, there's a few. I'd knocked down a few trees. We had a few wooden boxes out there. I'd run drills for myself and just kind of would invite people out. We'd play a little bit. Well, I had the full field there, had nets and everything. And then I was like, well, I mean, we don't have anywhere to play paintball, because at that time you had Cypress Kings that was kind of doing their thing out at the Speedball field, and as you said before, the GLK and that whole thing. You either like us or you don't. Unfortunately, like, you had Rex and those people out there. We just really didn't mesh. It wasn't our vibe. I
Yeah.
had a neighbor that was fortunate enough to rent a big old tractor, big 10-ton I mean, just giant tractor. Like, it wouldn't even fit down a 2-lane road type deal. Like, I'm having to knock down.
Uh-huh.
I had to replace 3 mailboxes on my road because I was running them over trying to get the tractor in my house. Yeah, so I got that tractor. He rented it for a Thursday. It was supposed to be a Wednesday and Thursday. Well, they called him Friday and said they weren't gonna be able to pick it up till Monday. So he's like, "Hey, if you want to use it," I was like, "Done deal." Yeah, and needless to say, I was grabbing trees with claws, ripping them out, and then rented a backhoe. I mean, a skid steer, leveled it all out, and
Mhm.
threw up a 80 by 150-foot field behind my house, fully netted, full field, and didn't have a compressor. Luckily, I had 15 scuba tanks. Think about this. 15 scuba tanks, okay?
It's a lot.
Yeah. And during the weeks, I would swing by Paintball Charleston on my way home from work and fill up like 5 at a time, like hoping the
Mhm.
owners of Paintball Charleston wouldn't say nothing. Like, they knew what was going on, but like, I was pretty clear about, like, I'm not selling paint to anyone. I was pretty clear when you played at the house, like, please still support our local field. Like, that's where we grew up. Like,
Yeah.
definitely butted my heads with those guys, but I still love them to this day. Like, we wouldn't be where we're at now without them. So, yeah, I kind of took about 3-4 months, really got everything level, flat, got some grass on it. And then, yeah, like I said, had 15 scuba tanks and started ordering skids of paint. There for about 3 months, we were shooting skid and a half of paint every 2 weekends. I had to hook up
Pretty
No
good.
Star. Oh, yeah. No, no, no. Oh, dude. Like, when I say shooting, I mean, like, I would also have 30 to 40 people out there. Anyone that
Uh-huh.
made it out to the yard, like, it was ball. Like, it wasn't for the faint-hearted. I mean, it was like I said, it was a 80 foot by 150 foot, so a little bit bigger than, half a field, and we were still playing, like, 4 and
Yeah.
5 man on it, and, you had to learn how to gun battle and stuff, you know? And then from there, it's kinda where smoke came from. You know, the same crowd that, is in the camp today, that's the same homies that was coming out of the house and supporting. Kinda got to the point where it's like, we went while I was building the field, that's when Clutch started up. Everybody knows Clutch, Black Ryan, love that guy. Love all the guys in the camp. We've had our
Big camp.
differences. Yeah, big camp. Yeah. So Black Ryan hits us up. Yeah, Black Ryan hits us up, and he's like, "Hey, man, like, I really want, like." Black Ryan's always been GLK too, like, from back in the day, like, just the mesh and everything. He's like, "Hey, man, like, I really want you guys to come and play for Clutch." And we're like, "Well, we're not playing for Clutch unless it's GLK." Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the jerseys, but Clutch had their whole color scheme, and then when Clutch first started, we had the GLK that had Clutch and stuff on the arms and all that other stuff.
Oh, I don't think I saw that.
But yeah. Yeah, needless to say, when the jerseys dropped, it was a big situation. That's all I'll say on that one. Because
Okay.
we got to choose. That's the one where it has the Easy E on the logo of the carbon jersey.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's that jersey. So if you look on the arms, they stay Clutch and everything on them. Yeah, so it was me, Lucas, Pister, Corey, Minkowski, Chris Leppert, Jacob, Michael Moore. Yeah, we went out there and we played. I think one tournament as Clutch, and well, as you know, we've always had kind of this thing with Rock Hill, Upstate. You know how deep that goes.
Yeah.
I'm not going any deeper. I love everybody. We're all old now. We all get along. Anyways, uh, if you know, you know. Exactly. All that's behind everybody. I love everybody in the Carolinas. I support everybody now. Needless to say, we're up there at Rock Hill. We got some hot-headed people. Some things went down, and then we were basically like, "Fuck it, this isn't for us." Like, so we just kind of backed away from the Clutch thing. We played one of the CPXLs. I think it was first year Scuba
Okay.
owned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, "Okay, well, we'll play as La Familia." And we brought a couple people like Butch and a couple of those fellows on there from Smoke. Played one event as that, and then that's kinda whenever the yard started. It was kinda all the same time, same
Okay.
crowd. I think we might have played in the yard maybe a little bit before that event. I can't remember. I mean, everything was my life was, outside of paintball was very, very crazy then, easiest way to put it. So, yeah, we played La Familia. I think we might come in second or something. I think we ended up having to play against Cypress Kings, and they beat us in finals or something like that. I was coaching the guys.
Okay.
Yeah, then the yard came up, and, we were all just kinda sitting around. We're like, "Well, we know we're gonna play competitive, so, like, what's the name gonna be?" We're, easiest way to say it, anyone that's been around us, you can kinda put together where the Smoke name comes from. That's all I'm gonna say on the subject. Yeah, not disclosing anything there, like, nothing there. It was like, "Well, Smoke," and it was like, smoke this, Low Country's." Oh, we were like, "No, Smoke. That's it." That's it. So that's where the name came from out of the yard. That time, Cypress Kings kind of ventured off, kind of disappeared. Not really gonna say disappeared, but that's where Creekside came from. They kind of popped.
Okay, yeah.
Um, Rogie and all those guys. They kind of popped up, and I'm not sure exactly how all that went. I wasn't part of that. Like I said, I was kind of doing my own thing. So the home field kind of got, they had a speedball field, not the best bunkers and stuff, So kind of went out there and started playing out there some, and then we just kind of took over paintball Charleston again. Lucas was fortunate enough. He bought a set of bunkers from Cup in 2022, I believe, and we put it out there. Corey, well, the camp and whole, Corey and I have definitely put in a lot of time out there, as in just like grading the field. The nets that actually surround the field now, I brought those from my house so we could have them, and yeah, that's kind of where Smoke's been at then. So yeah, yeah.
How I mean, it's been a big change down there, right? Since the
The selling, the
the
sell
guys
off.
sold. Yeah. So how's it been going with the new guys?
Man, they in the beginning, it's always kind of been open, but when they moved down, they're not big speedballers. OX,
Mhm.
they own, I think it's 7 other fields. Brian owns 7 other fields. That's a great
Yeah.
great group of guys. I mean, I've been to their other fields playing scenarios and playing and stuff like that. They know how to build a field. Like they really know how to do it.
Yeah.
William, Mad Frog, the guy that's our manager there now, he's great. He's great. When they first came in, I think they were kind of skeptical the whole situation, because they aren't about speedball. But
Hmm.
within the first, I think 3 or 4 weeks, well, kind of to backtrack a little bit, whenever the field was shutting down, I mean, I reached out to you and Josh and everybody, and I put on the big like last day of it. You know what I mean? I mean, it was, dude, it pissed rain. Like it rained so hard, and we still
Oh.
had 200 people out there. I mean, people we haven't seen
Hmm.
in years, and we're still balled. I mean, brought the grill, cooked out, did my thing. And the guy saw that and he's like, oh, cool. Brian saw that and was like, oh, cool. So the following weekend, he did a, field opening, like come meet the owners thing. Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately,
It
really,
didn't go as
yeah.
well.
Well, we also had AXL that weekend, mm,
Hmm.
or I think it was AXL that weekend. So I mean, a lot of locals were out there and all that other stuff. Well, then, so I don't I don't know really. I felt it out. It was kind of weird, and I think he kind of, I don't know. I can't speak for the man. Brian's been great so far, but I kind of
Hmm.
I felt bad because I was like, dude, I didn't even make it out there. I was like, man, like we didn't really represent ourselves as who we were. Like we should have been.
Yeah.
So they were told when they bought out, like, hey, we own, like, we rent the property and everything, but the speedball field is not ours. As I said, Lucas owns the
Hmm.
field. I own the nets. We own the poles that put up around it and everything.
Yeah.
So in reality, like other than them telling us like, basically to fuck off, take your stuff off, which if they
Hmm.
did that, that's cool. We just head back out to Edison. I was going to
Hmm.
go ahead and clear out and make a full field out there. I don't even live out there anymore. So we just had a single wide, it'd been a party house, and we would just play ball out there.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But, yeah, the next 3 or 4 weekends, it's hard to say, no, we don't want you guys here when every weekend we have 30, 40 people out there,
Yeah.
and then they realize
That's a
real
lot of
quickly,
dudes buying paint.
yeah, like, and anyone that's played at OXT field, I mean, paint is not cheap. Paint is not cheap. I mean, we went from $55 a case, you know, $55 a case for like 4 or 5 star to 95 after tax for a case of paint. Yeah. So needless to say, we've all broken the pumps back out for rec ball. But
Uh,
yeah. So luckily, like they've, they kind of, I feel like they kind of realize like, okay, cool, like these are the guys that's going to make the money. So, and they give us Sunday practices. They help us out. I'll put it that way. Like OX has
okay.
definitely come out and helped us some. And I think they realize like that's where the money's going to be out of this field. Like I said, they've spoke about,
Hmm.
doing a turf field for us,
Yeah.
and then
It's a big
even,
investment.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, doing a turf. Well, like I said, Brian's got 7 fields. He's deep into the scene. I mean, and up there, the
Hmm.
Maryland field, they have roll, like sitting
Yeah.
around used on the field type deal. So
Hmm.
yeah, from what they've said, they want to do a turf field, but they're not going to start on the speedball field until they get the field ready for the scenario in February,
Hmm.
the first weekend of
Okay.
February. Little shout out about that first scenario that's been in Charleston in
Years,
8 years.
maybe a decade.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. And anyone that's been to a paintball Charleston scenario will tell you it is a fun time. But yeah, a little shout out to those guys. If you can make it to the scenario, that would be great. They haven't announced it yet, but it was made official Wednesday. I will be general for the blue squad, the home team. So if you want to play, hit me up. Let's work something out. For sure. As you know, all the homies will be there. You're not gonna come to our home
Oh yeah.
turf and beat us. I'll put it that way. But so once they kind of get the field ready for this February scenario, they're going to really break down and he said start working on the speedball field. So hopefully next year we'll be able to start hosting some more at our field, and it's gonna be nice. And something well
And
deserved, I feel.
that's February 1st.
February 2nd, I believe it's the first weekend of February.
So
Yeah, it's the weekend after
first
Red
weekend of
versus Blue.
February.
It's the weekend
Okay.
after Red versus Blue. So yeah, yeah, that's gonna be a fun time. I'm excited. But
Well, I'm gonna try and make it down for that one. I know I had had a lot of life stuff come up this year,
yeah, no,
so I couldn't make it down for the closing.
yep, yep. Well, like I said,
Yeah.
it was a good time, but the rain definitely was a bummer. Like it would have been an amazing day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, dude, OX is definitely whenever Paintball Charleston moved to the new field, I'm not gonna say it was like just it's a new field, it is what it is, it'll be here till it's not type deal, but that's kind of the way we felt, you know.
Mhm.
No X has moved in, and like Bill's been definitely been putting crazy work in on that field.
Mhm.
Like man's got it nice, like enjoyable to go out there and play rec ball and stuff now. So if you get a
Nice.
chance, definitely come down. Like anybody, if you get a chance, man, come down. If you come down and want to bring 2 or 3 people, hit me up. I'll get a crowd. Like anyone knows, like I'll get a crowd together. We'll go have a good day of ball. So
Yeah. Well, that's something like really fun to do in the off season, right? If you're a tournament guy, take the time during the off season, travel around, do some big games, like just kind of reset and, go back and experience paintball
yeah,
like you experienced the
yeah,
first time, right? Like it's makes it fun. That's what kind of kills me about like everyone doing tryouts and stuff like in December. I'm like,
what
just
off
give everyone,
what off season? You
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, there were some teams that were having tryouts before World Cup even happened. I was like, I get it, wanting to get the ball moving, right? But like, I think it's always hard to have tryouts without knowing schedules and stuff either, right? Like, hey, we're gonna play this. This is the schedule, so you know what you're committing to,
Yeah,
type thing.
yeah. And I feel like some of these younger camps, man, I just feel like they're really, like I said, we're fortunate enough. A lot of us have been balling almost 20 years together, so there's kind of that mesh there. But like, I feel like a lot of these camps come up and try to blow up quick, man. Like, sometimes you just need to sit back, take a core group, and build off that.
Yeah.
The people will come then. You know what I mean? Like, don't feel like a lot of these teams have tryouts and try pushing things. Which it
Hmm.
works, but it kind of waters the steam down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. If you have, just take your time and enjoy
Yeah,
it.
go play a couple three
You know
mans,
that.
like get your feet
Yeah.
wet, and then get into it.
Yeah. There's no need to rush into X ball and all that other stuff. Like that time will come. Get used to the sport, especially if you're new or coming back after a long break. Like the pace of the game has changed a lot for
Tremendously.
sure. I feel like it slowed down a good bit from, early 2000s
Agreed.
where
Agreed.
it was like hyper aggressive,
Yep.
right? And I know part of that's like by design, like field layouts are definitely designed for to play 5-on-5.
Yeah. Agreed.
Shoot 2 off the break
Yeah. Oh no, I agree.
scenario.
I agree. Yep.
Just take your time with it and enjoy it. Like 99 of us aren't going to be pro paintball players at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's awesome if that's your goal, man. Like, go for it, but don't go too quick.
Yeah. Exactly.
You'll miss lessons, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's certain things you can't learn overnight. Like you got to take time to learn them. You know.
Yeah,
But
yeah. It's just you got to see the scenarios, right?
yeah. Yeah.
And you can only pack in so on a good day maybe 40 points a day, and when you're looking at people that are in semi-pro doing well, a lot of them have been in the game for 20 years, off and on already, or like 15. Like very few are there after 5 years
Yeah.
and
Oh,
doing well.
100%. And if you are there, you're there because you've put in the time. Like they've definitely got some. Like Colt Dahl, perfect
Yeah.
example. I mean, he was at the BKI.
Yes.
He was at the BKI event with me, 2018, and I mean, dude
Hmm.
was nasty. He was still, I think he was only like 11 or 12 at the time. But the man had
Hmm.
also, like, his dad, like, is about it. Like he supported him, like
Hmm.
took him everywhere, paid for everything. You know what I mean? If you got it like that, like, yeah, it can be done. But for the average person, man, it takes time. Don't jump the ranks.
Yeah.
Work through them. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Working through pays off. Like Colton, like he obviously has a tremendous support from the family, but like took advantage of that
Yeah.
support and
But he puts in the
did.
time too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But so he gets to put in that time. He goes and does the BKI
Yeah.
stuff. I know he went to the camp a couple years and
Yeah.
stuff like that. He did those things that are time
Yeah.
multipliers,
Exactly.
right? So it's kind of like if you have enough room in the backyard and going out and practicing, even with 100 balls every night, like that's a time multiplier on those gun skills. So
Yeah, another thing is, man, you got not so much put in the time, but you gotta have a mindset for it. You gotta want it, and it's gotta be on and off the field. You know what I mean? It happens on and off the field. Even D5 nowadays, man, it's crazy to see some of these D5 teams. Like, I'm like, man, they're not. I mean, there are definitely lessons to be learned, but I mean, it's nothing like D5, 10 years ago. You know what I
no,
mean? Definitely not. Like I love watching some of these old ballers that haven't played in a while. They're like, oh, I'll go. I'm D ranked. I'm gonna go play D5. Like I'm gonna go smash it, and then they get out there and get rolled. I love watching that
yeah,
happen.
it
Love it. Love it.
happens a lot
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And it's interesting. I didn't have a coach until I came back with relapse. Like I was always player coaching, or in one of those scenarios. Now, like back then, like you were the bee's knees if your D5 team had a
Oh yeah.
coach, like a legitimate coach. Now, like every D5 team has a legitimate coach.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. There's also kind of on the other scale, there's a lot of people that think they can be a coach, and they're just teams got to understand, man. If things don't mesh, like sometimes you just got to cut the fat. I hate seeing that too.
Yeah.
You see a really good team, and then you see this coach, and you're just like, bro, what are you doing? Like you don't have the experience to be doing, like, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I feel like that's I know I would say whenever I jump back into paintball, like I was past that, like, oh, I want to go pro thing. Like, yeah, whatever, dude. Like, you get to a point in real life where you realize, like, even when you get close to that pro situation, you realize, like, okay, it's not what it's cracked up to be. You know what I mean? You're still paying to do everything. You're still doing all that. When I come back in the sport, like I said, back with cyber teams, like I committed to myself. I said, I'm not here to go pro. I'm here to grow the sport in my area. And I mean,
Hmm.
anyone that knows me locally, anyone that kind of in the Carolinas and stuff, dude, I do everything I can to grow the sport. I mean, like, I've got a random draw tournament coming up December 22nd, random draw mech event. Like I said, the Christmas Clash, that's what it
Hmm.
is. Anyone that's played in those will tell you those are some of the funnest events that you'll ever play. Um, Last year, prelims, you played 14 points. That is a lot of paintball and prelims for people
That
that
is a lot
but I
of
mean,
paintball.
it really feeds into the culture and stuff. It gets the people that haven't played speedball and stuff. It kinda mends that blurry zone of rec ball and speedball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I wish there was
Yeah.
more people out there, going that route with it, trying to grow the sport. I know everybody says grow the sport and stuff, but, there's a lot of the community that doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
hard.
There's a lot of grow the sport, and then like not with me though.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So
I get it. And that's the other thing about like the off season being so much shorter is like those fun events, like your Christmas Clash, our Toys for Tots,
yeah.
stuff like that. Like really important, I feel like, for growing the community in your area, right? Like just having a fun event. There's, no big prize on the line or anything. Just coming out and having a good time, um, is super important. And mixing in like the guy that's been out there for 3 months with the guy who's been in and out of the sport for 20
Yep.
years, like is just huge. So
Yeah, oh, I agree. And all the random draw events I do, the kind of the rules are is you throw 20 bucks in the pot. First place goes home with it
mhm.
all. So like last year, the team that won, they walked away with $1,000. Like
Damn.
who goes and plays paintball with a random group of people you don't ever know, and then you walk away with $1,000? I promise you, those 5 guys you just played with will be your friends until the end. You know what I mean? Like,
But yeah.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you win $1,000 with two
Oh no,
buddies or two strangers, you're gonna be friends
oh
for a
yeah,
while,
oh
right?
yeah. And that goes back to the grow the sport thing. I'm doing this on my dime, on my time, and I'm giving out $1,000 pot, and all these dudes are throwing 20 bucks in. And then we go to some of these events. That's all I'm gonna say on the situation. Some of these events, and you're spending, $60 a case for a damn case of paint. You got these D5 guys, obviously D5's the younger guys, so they ain't got the money like that, man. They're out there paying 65 dollars for a case of paint, shooting 30 cases, that gets expensive. And then you get a check for, you know, some some gear that you've already bought.
Yeah.
I'm cool with if you win gear and stuff, but dude, we've already bought that. Like, there's not really what's me winning a
Hmm.
new EVS mask. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, cut them a deal on paint or something, man. Like, keep these guys wanting to come back.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if you just paid off the paint tab, even if that's first place, like that's
And
huge.
there's a lot of these, like HK and GI and stuff. If you allow the teams to use that paint at the league, if they win, you're not paying the paint tab. GI will pay the paint tab. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, help us to help you type deal. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, if you want to make D3 pay, whatever amount of paint, that's one thing. But these D5 guys and stuff, that's where the sport's at. And the
Hmm.
cost is outrageous for some of these local events in around
Yeah.
here. I mean,
Yeah.
it's rough.
Well, I think that's why the C3 XL took off
Yeah.
was, paint's still, it's high for a tournament, but it's also 3-man.
Yeah.
So like you're not shooting as much as you would at an X ball event, with, 10 dudes on a
Yeah.
roster.
Yeah.
Um,
I also feel a little bit
I,
different about the 3-man versus 5-man thing.
oh, lay it out.
Like, okay, so a lot of people are like, you should start out in 3-man, blah, blah. Dude, I've played national ball a lot. Like, I've got my fair share of medals and stuff from playing 3-man, open 3-man at NXL. And anyone that's done that will tell you, like, that's not a just hop in and don't know what you're doing. I'm not talking about D5 3-man. I'm talking about like open 3-man. And I'm here to tell you right now, I believe 3-man for someone starting out is harder than 5, because you
Okay.
messed up and get one shot off the break, then you're in a situation that you like, yeah, you've never been
Yeah.
put in it, but it is hard to pull off, especially on some of these layouts. Fortunate enough, like the the one that Pete and them were putting on, they're kind of smaller layouts.
Yeah.
So that helps out a
Yeah.
lot. But when you're playing these full field layouts, man, you go down a body and you're split corner to corner and you got three coming in, man. It takes skill. You know what I mean? Like, it takes skill to bring that back.
Yeah.
5-man, like, you lose one or two on the break, you can still kind of pull it back. I think
You can survive a
yeah,
little bit,
yeah,
possibly pull it out,
yeah.
right? Like
I think it's
if they get sloppy with the close, especially in 5-man, like it becomes, you
yeah,
have more of a fighting
yeah,
chance.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, and I think 3-man's fun. I love it just because I like it
Hmm.
putting those down body situations. Like, I like coming out of the grit on it, but I think it makes it a little bit harder for the newer guys. You know what I mean? So, especially when you
I definitely see your point of view
yeah,
on it for
especially when you
sure.
throw a fucking couple sandbaggers, which we all know in the Carolinas happens. Which I'm not taking nothing out. I
Just
mean,
a couple.
I mean, just a couple, throw them out there. I mean, not gonna throw no names or nothing, but I mean, it's always been a big thing around here. You throw, you can throw a guy, out there that can, shoot one or two bodies off the break consistently. It kind of kills the fun for everybody. So
Yeah.
and so, yeah, I don't know. Carolina ball's different, I feel, than a lot of places in the United States.
Yeah. I think so too. I haven't come up with a solution for it yet. I do like the blitz format. I don't know if you guys got to play any of that
I haven't been able to
at
play it,
all.
but I would love to play it. Like, that is definitely my realm of what I'd like.
So it was fun just because like, once we got the old relapse guys together to go and do it, and we had like 5 or 7 of us, 6 or 7 of us went up there, and that was more than enough to play for the
Yeah.
day. And then we went up with the little AC Greenville group, and we had some guys who had been in it for a long time, but then we had a couple guys that hadn't been in it,
Yeah.
and it was great for them to kind of dip their toe into it,
Yeah.
into 5-man. It was their first time playing 5-man competitively. So
Yeah. Any format like that, man, it's good for people. I love it,
yeah.
you know.
Well, I just like seeing the different formats, man.
Yeah.
Like, give me something unique,
Yeah. Actually,
you know?
with you bringing that up, I'm going to tell you something everyone is sleeping on right now, and that is the
Okay.
WCP 10
Okay.
man mech ball. Okay. And
Hmm.
the guys running these leagues, it's a lot. I mean, it's all the old heads. I mean, all the people that started paintball. I mean, back in the early '90s
But
and
yeah,
stuff. Dude, we went to Oregon and played a 7-man. That was probably one of the funnest events I've ever had in my life. I mean, and it was
nice.
true ball. I mean, you're playing against old pros and stuff. I mean, it was like
Hmm.
wood ball fields that people haven't ever played before. Like they were created just for this. I mean, it was gritty. Like, I mean, really gritty. But it was some of the just I mean, there was no complaints about refs. There was no like none of this arguing and none of that. I mean, we had our little discussions here and there, like, but man, like when you were on the field, you were against each other. But when you were off the field, everybody felt like a team, man. And it's something I
Hmm.
feel like a lot of people miss in paintball. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like I said, coming back to that whole discussion with GLK and it's either like fuck you or either, whatever. Like that's not my problem, But I'm here to tell you now, man, like that everyone needs to get out and play those type of leagues. Like I feel like every camp needs to go out and play some of those events. And man, you will make some of the best memories you've ever had. It's you learn a different paintball too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like X ball 5-man, like that's all heads up. You shoot down the field, they're coming.
Hmm.
But there's nothing like, someone wrapping around you, then all of a sudden you're stuck in a situation where you're, 3 or 4, it's
Hmm.
not your field awareness isn't only in front of you, it's everything. Like it
Yeah, it's gotta be everywhere. So, yeah, I think it's super important to play as many different formats as you can. But I think there's a skill set in particular you get from playing the 7-man, 10-man
yeah,
formats
100%.
that you just don't get in X ball, right? Or in 3-man, whether it be traditional 3-man or X ball style 3-man or some variation. And I think that's why, like, I mean, I think that's why Dynasty, granted, not a great year for them, but like,
Yeah. Whew.
those dudes aren't going anywhere. And they've been dominant forever. But I think a lot of it's because they were at a high level during that era, right? And they've only gotten nastier
Yeah.
since their
Oh, yeah.
AMA day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I think there's something to learn from there. And there's been a couple like pros that have said that too. Like, hey, getting out and playing these kind of formats, it's really beneficial.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
So,
That's like at a smoke camp. Every once in a while, we all plan, like, we're not playing any speedball today. We're going to go out and just have a fun rec ball day. I mean, it's
hmm.
kind of funny to watch, some of these guys, some of the better players on smoke, I guess they're used to playing speedball, playing in front of each other and, you know, eyes down the field and everything. And then you get in a village and then, you see the old instinct come back, you know what I mean? And it's like, humble some people, you know what I mean? Like it really, it's needed. It's needed.
Yeah, my favorite thing to do after practice is to go down to the Mounts field or hop on the hyperball field
But yeah.
for a go or two, right? And we'll do a thing called football. So there's a ball or some kind of object in the middle, and the goal is just to move it one way or the other, right? And well, it's the end of the day type thing. So like we do respawns, you get shot, just go
Yep. Just
back
go
and
back
come
and do
back
it
in.
again.
We're gonna run a 10-minute game, which I think encourages people to like try different
Yeah.
things, like, hey, if I get shot, it's not a big deal
Yep.
because I'll just pop back
Oh
in.
yeah. Yep. Goes back to that whole thing, like I said, about how the old paintball Charleston used to be, elbows
Yeah.
down, knees down, bro. Like yeah, you play around and get shot in the foot 3 or 4 times. Get shot in that big toe 3 or 4 times. Guess what you're not going to do?
Mhm.
Leave the toe out anymore. You're not out, but you
Yeah,
are going to move your toe, you know what I mean? So, but, yeah, speaking of a new format or non-traditional formats, not the normal X ball, we got CFOA
hmm.
10-man coming up.
Yep.
Yep, yep. You gonna play that?
I'm gonna be up there with the relapse
Nice.
boys.
Nice.
So, and we got G-Way and Ryan from New
Nice.
Gen from back in the
Nice.
day playing with us.
Nice.
So they'll be up there. We got TJ's coming out. He's gonna play.
Good old
You know
TJ. Oh, believe
TJ.
me, I know TJ. Goes back to the old
One
days.
of the
We won't
best
talk.
referees in the game.
Yeah. GLK and TJ go kind of far back. Goes back to that we won't talk about. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. TJ's our good friend now, I'll put it that way. So, yeah.
And of course, Josh will be there
Yeah.
with us. So,
That's always one of my favorite events of the year, man, just to go up there and, like, you really see faces you haven't seen in years, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, everybody shows up. Like, and then also just the other people that show up, you know what I mean? You get to see some of the active pro players and stuff, which, I mean, this point in my paintball career isn't like, "Oh, oh," but it is fun to play against them and stuff, you know what I mean?
But yeah. Yeah. And then you get a couple legends of the game,
Yeah.
right? You know,
You know, we've got Rocky's fucking wilding ass coming out there trying to show out.
but yeah.
Yeah, always got Rocky Cagnoni and that crew coming out and stuff, so it's
So,
always fun.
uh, yeah, it's a good time. It blew my mind. It took 2 days to sell out this year,
Yeah,
just because like I was in charge of getting the spot and I had like pulled over, put the
oh
phone
yeah,
on and pulled up the computer and like waiting,
yep.
refreshing, you know.
Corey and I was the same way, bro. Because I think we missed it one year. We missed it one year and, Black Ryan actually sold us a spot. Uh
Okay.
Yeah, so we missed it. So this year, me and Corey was like, "Oh no, I'm on my phone and I'm talking to him at work, and he's on his phone. Everything's ready to go." And we were like, "Okay, 1, 2, 3, go." You know, we ended up getting. I think we were like the first or the second actually paid. You know, and Corey's like, "Okay, got
Nice.
it." So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a must attend event, I think, if you're a Carolina team.
yeah.
There people from all
And I'm
over.
gonna go and
Like image normally comes
yeah,
down.
and I'm gonna go and throw this out there now. Any of these 10-man teams, I've played a good bit of 10-man ball. Like, obviously, like, this year playing 10-man at NXL, we played against very many legends, some good teams and everything, but, like, we held our own. I mean, it shows. But, I mean, I've played WCGL, I've played quite a few 10-mans and everything. I'm here to tell you right now, any of you 10-man teams, if you think you're the best, come to this CFOA 10-man. If you really think you're the best, because 'cause I'm here to tell you right now, this is probably one of the hardest competing 10-man tournaments you can go to. And I mean, it's there. This tournament, I think, is probably one of the hardest ones I play in every year,
Oh, yeah.
hands down.
Yeah, it's super difficult, you know, and old guys to new guys. You want to talk Tin Man, it's hard not to talk about Dark
Oh
Carnival
yeah,
these
100%. Yep.
days, right?
Yeah, and
Like all
obviously
their
the reinsurgents of them coming and playing ICPL, that whole situation, that was great to see
mhm.
them guys come and take that. But I mean, they've been we all know what crew that is. That crew has won their fair share of 'em, you know what I mean? Scrappy dogs. We're coming for you. Everyone is, you know what I mean? But between them and Gridlock though, I mean that whole crowd up there, you guys get to play that field what a lot. It's your home field. It wouldn't be expected, and that's just that whole crowd up there is just a great ballers.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's I think it still is the mecca of paintball
Yeah.
in the Carolinas,
Oh,
right?
agreed.
Like everyone else is, and just because of them being the mecca for so long, like the talent level up there's
Oh
deep,
yeah.
right?
I agree.
Like the pool is deep.
I agree.
So especially if you throw something that the old school guys like to come out in,
Oh yeah.
and Tin Man's a thinking man's game, I think, in some regards,
That's why I
right?
love it.
Like way more than X
Oh yeah.
ball for sure.
Oh yeah. You know?
You got to be a little bit, you got to be a thinker. You got to be a little sneaky.
Yep. Yep.
You got to be able to read that field, see that seam, and take advantage.
Yeah. That's how it kinda felt growing up though, man. Like, if you were on one of them teams that traveled to upstate to play and practice, you knew you were one of the top in Charleston. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, we got Eddie Dawes, he's kinda the one that's held it down in the upstate for Charleston, you know what I mean? We had, uh, the Blantons, the whole Bloodhound situation. That was a
Yep.
thing. But, I mean, that was always kind of a big thing, you guys upstate was always like when you're traveling up there to practice and stuff, you're like, "Okay, I'm good at paintball. Like, I can hold my own."
Yeah.
So, it
Yeah.
I wish we had more of that down here, but, I mean, there's only so much you can.
Well, you guys are doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to hold it together, man.
I feel like you guys are in the conversation in detail.
Yeah, so those
Definitely.
guys, unfortunately, with my life situation and everything, like, I can't put forth the time they do. Like, I got my son,
Hmm.
I got Alyssa here. Anyone that knows me knows she is around me 24/7. I don't know what I'd do without that girl. But, like, man, I just outside of life with work and everything, I just can't commit the time to those dudes, dude. But I'm here to tell you, those
Yeah.
dudes grind in out for it. And on paper, it doesn't look I mean, it doesn't look the best, but if you've ever seen them playing at the events, man, it's just a little just right there,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They're on the hill, you know? So
Yeah.
it's rough. I'm ready to see those guys get what they deserve. You know what I mean? If they just keep grinding out, I
Well,
think
it's
well,
coming.
I hope so. I hope so.
So yeah, I just think it's coming
Yeah.
for them.
Well, I
Like
hope so.
they're doing, and obviously Smoke Red, the D4
Yeah.
guys at the national level, like had a really good year.
Yeah, funny
You
thing about
know.
Smoke Red is, I was actually brought in on that line at the beginning of the year. That was just, like, a couple of the guys from Creekside that wanted to start playing national ball, a couple of the guys that, like, were like, "Oh, I can't be as committed as, the Smoke Black line." Really, we had never
Hmm.
played together, you know what I mean? And then, we kinda was the only team that was left at the end of the year. You know what, we pulled a couple from Black and then just kinda made it happen, you know? So, it's kinda inside the camp, it was a good little poke, I'll put it that way. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm ready to see the D2 guys, get and I hope, I obviously with doing so good in D4, we're gonna have to move up to D3 next year for, Smoke Red.
Hmm.
We should be I feel pretty confident we'll be competitive. We'll hold our own. We'll get in
Yeah.
our grind time. We'll put it down, but I'm really ready to see those D2 guys get what they deserve. I spend a lot of time, me and like I said, Alyssa herself, we spend a lot of time not playing, just try to keep practices and stuff going, man. I'm ready to see these guys
Hmm.
win it, you know? So,
Nice.
yep, yep. We'll see how it goes.
We're at like an hour and 20.
Wow. Yeah. Gonna wrap this thing
Um,
up.
yeah, time to wrap it up. Man, thank you so much for coming on. I know we've been talking about for a while, so I appreciate you making it happen
Yeah,
and
no problem. We've been talking about it for a
getting the
while now.
history out
So,
there.
yep, yep. So, look forward to seeing you in a few weekends. Well, I guess when this comes out, it'll be the weekend
Like
of.
a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. So, and just to comment, the World Cup thing was beautiful to take it all. That was well deserved.
Yeah.
Like D2 didn't do so good, but I can tell you right now, the Charleston guys, anyone that knows, if we get together as a whole group, it's gonna be hard to take them down. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was nice to be able. It's kind of the icing on the cake for everybody. So, but
Well, I can't remember if it was you or one of the other guys I was talking to. I think it was about Ohio because only Red was going to Ohio.
Corey,
And
you're speaking. Yeah,
okay. And he's like, well, we're gonna make sure we get that 10 man in.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And hey, shout out to all the homies that was able to pull up and make that shit happen because that Ohio's the one that Red won. So
Yeah.
they're all on the roster. Then all of a sudden, Noah hit up a bunch of his friends, like and was like, "Yo, we got a free spot for 10 man, and we got to play it." So it was a challenge. I'll put it that way. Shout out to all those homies that helped out in that situation. But yeah, yeah. But
Yeah, that's the fun thing about 10 man though.
yeah,
Especially at NXL events, you can kind of just call up
yeah,
whoever,
oh yeah,
right? Last minute
yep.
and get them on there. Well, shout out who you want to shout out, the sponsors, whatever.
I mean, Kinetic, Max Paintball, Charles and Max Paintball, man. If you're not wearing their jerseys, I'm here to tell you right now, like their jerseys their new jerseys I love 'em. I love them. Kinetic, everybody knows Kinetic fans. As Corey said, man, we really keep the sponsor thing on the low. We already have our gear. It's us. We do our thing. Shout out to OX. Shout out to the old Paintball Charleston owners. The two Tims. We wouldn't be who we are without you guys. OX, ready to see where we go from here with you guys. Big shout out to the homie Jake Barini. You had him on your podcast. Bearded
Yeah,
Works.
Bearded Works.
You need anything mechanical ball, need a cocker, need a mag, any of that, hit the man up. Any custom paintball, and then milling bodies and all that stuff, just hit him up. I'm kind of background. I don't really take face to that, but I'm there. You know what I mean? As Jake said. Yeah, shout out to all the smoke homies. We're here. We're not going nowhere. We've been here. Ready to see what 2026 brings
Nice.
in.
All right.
So,
Well, you gotta hang out for a little bit, but everyone else, we'll see you
all
next
right.
time on the Planet
Don't forget
Paintball
about
podcast.
the scenario. Like I said, that's gonna be a blast.
Yes.
If you can make it to that
February,
and hit me up, get in my
first
DMs.
weekend in
Yep,
February.
hit up my DMs, blue team. So we'll work something out.
Blue team. All right.
Later, guys.
Sounds good. Later.